Paul Dudley is live in Myrtle Grove in Plaquemines Parish with the latest. And Paul, we understand there's a mandatory evacuation that might happen coming into tomorrow.
Yeah, Tom, that's no longer a might situation. We know at 6 a.m. tomorrow that a mandatory evacuation is going to take place, and we'll have some more details about which communities in Plaquemines Parish that is for in just a minute. We are in one of those impacted communities right now. This is Myrtle Grove, and they are under a voluntary evacuation right now. Their parish officials were out here earlier doing some early precautions, including bringing out these sandbags. The idea that they tell me here in this particular area is to keep the water off of Highway 23. That's really what they're trying to do here, and that's what these sandbags are trying to do. I talked to neighbors out here. They say that they expect their street to flood. As for whether they're going to leave or not is still in question. They're still waiting to see if this storm develops and what it develops into, though we do know that they're under a voluntary evacuation right now. So I want to show you a closer look at these evacuations right now, happening now. Voluntary evacuation for the entire east bank of Plaquemines. That includes the communities of Braithwaite, Davant, and Phoenix. Also voluntary evacuations for the west bank of Plaquemines Parish, starting at Oakville, south to Venice, all the way down Highway 23. And then tomorrow at 6 a.m., this will turn into a mandatory evacuation. Now, it is not against the law to stay, but officials here are strongly encouraging people to leave.
Please, if you are issued a mandatory evacuation, please evacuate. We will have different areas set up. We will not have shelter here in Belchase, but we will have some buses headed up to West Monroe, and we will have those locations posted on our official social media as well as our website.
And there have been a lot of questions about the Empire floodgate, if it's going to close at any point. In talking to parish officials, they say that they have no plans to close it right now. That could change, but they say that they will wait to the last possible moment. We also know that a safe harbor is underway, so all boaters and fishermen are being told at this time to find safe harbor. That is the story live in Myrtle Grove tonight. Paul Dudley, Eyewitness News.